right, everybody, we got to move on. And we're going to go into a little bit about, well, The Flash. Because The Flash came up, and I was like, okay, I heard this news, and I didn't buy it when I heard it. And then I did a little research, and I found out this wasn't true. But they're saying Ezra Miller might not be done as The Flash. There's been some insiders talking about this, that the studio's saying that as long as he keeps in this track where he's staying quiet, there's an apology tour, they'll think about him coming back as The Flash for future movies after the movie comes out next summer. And here is like the news that came in today.
According to a new report from Variety, some executives are amenable to continuing with actor Ezra Miller in the role of the Flash moving forward, given the actor has stayed out of trouble since the beginning of mental health treatment this past summer.
And this is the kicker, though. This is the thing, and I was like, I don't buy this. And then I saw this, and I was like, yeah, that's it. James Gunn responded.
I don't know what's out there about Ezra, but our slate is 8 to 10 years, but we will only be announcing some this month.
And he said, I hereby debunk it, only because it's not true. That's what he said. So, I mean, I didn't really see it happening. I saw a lot of people talking about this today. Everyone's like going crazy, going back and forth. And Jake, if you don't know, like Ezra Miller pretty much has shot themselves in the foot by breaking into people's houses, stealing their booze, threatening a family in Hawaii to do physical abuse on them. I mean, getting arrested, doing at karaoke bars, making a havoc. And the thing is, like, you are the Flash. You have a new movie coming out, millions and millions of dollars on the plate, for Warner Brothers. And everyone keeps saying this movie is great. And they're great in it. And it's going to be an amazing movie. They're comparing it to The Dark Knight, which I think is kind of nuts. Like, I can't imagine the Flash movie being like The Dark Knight, but we'll see. They're still releasing it. But the fact is, because of all this chaos, Ezra also started a cult, and they're saying that they're the next, I guess, person going to change the world, and trying to bring in people to this cult, and trying to what's that called when you bring them up, you take them under your wing, you mentor them, or but they're pretty much bringing people in and starting a cult and saying, I'm the next prophet that's going to change the world. So Warner Brothers,
the guy who is beating people up in a bar and throwing chairs, you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that was happening.
And after all this happened, and they put a lot of space between Warner Brothers and Ezra, came out with all these weird tweets about, like, you can't find me, I'm everywhere, all this kind of stuff, and weird symbols, and having fun with the press. But it's like, dude, you've been messing up so much, and you have everything right now, and you're still young. You're super young, and you're like the Flash. You have a great movie. You have Michael Keaton coming back as Batman to be your Batman in this movie, coming out of retirement. You have every opportunity to do great. There's multiple Supermen in this movie. There's multiple Batman in this movie. It's like expanding the universe. It's supposed to be like revamping all of DC, and this person is just fucking up. I don't know how you do that. But now they're saying that, we might keep him around, but James Gunn runs this show, as we said yesterday. And James Gunn said, not true. I don't think that they could keep Ezra around. I think it's just too much liability. I think it's people speculating, going nuts on the internet today. I'm like, you're insane. This is not happening. Totally fired. I guarantee you won't even see Ezra at the red carpet. I almost believe you won't even see any kind of press with Ezra because they're so mad. I don't know. I don't unless enough time goes over. I really think that you see these reports about this, like, prophet stuff, and trying to bring people, like young people, under his wing, and trying to change their mentality and trying to create a revolution. I think this is something that Warner Brothers wants nothing to do with.
I think if he doesn't show up, of his own accord. He can't be the star of the movie and not invited to the premiere. That's ridiculous.
I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't show up because he's starting a cult. I don't know. But, like, I don't think you could just be like, no, you can't come to this movie that you're starring in, that we're going to make a bunch of money off of.
If you're a liability, though, for the studio, I don't know. Right now, Ezra's doing an apology tour, which it was hard to even convince him to do it. But apparently did a few.
Well, he's taking time off from culting to do an apology tour, so maybe he can come to the premiere.
But they're just written statements that anybody could have written at Warner Brothers and released on his social media handles. There's not like really any kind of personalization. You don't actually see Ezra doing interviews, apologizing. There's nothing like that. To be in their spot and to be like this, it's just uncalled for. Jake, you hear this? All this drama, all this shit. What do you think? Do you think Ezra has any ground to stay in this role? Or do you think that Warner Brothers should be like, get the fuck out of here and don't come back?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they could do like a deep fake and just put somebody else's face on the character for the whole movie. And then
that was a
problem
talk.
solved.
There was a conversation about that. There was a conversation about that, but they were saying it would cost way too much, like $20 million or something like that.
How would it cost that much?
Because here's the problem. There's multiple versions of the Flash in this movie. Spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
These are just things that not give anything away, but they play like 4 characters in this. There's an evil Barry. There's the Barry that actually that the normal Barry. There's like a long-haired version of Barry, and there's like a hipster version of Barry or something. So the fact that Ezra's playing all of these parts means you have to change places and faces like throughout the whole movie. So that was a big, because they were talking about recasting Ezra Miller and reshooting all of the parts of Barry, but that costs a lot. The facial change thing costs a lot. The one thing that's probably going to happen. He plays
all of the different versions of him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's short hair, long hair, emo hair, and normal hair, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, the hair does it, I guess. Grease is the word. It's all about hair. So that's what I'm saying. So it'd be hard for a studio to go and replace it. I think it would have been smart, though, too, especially this movie's so good. Just do it. They've done it in other movies where they just replace. Look at Tig. I can't think of Tig's last name. The stand-up Tig. She was in that zombie movie with
Army of Darkness or whatever.
Army of Darkness with Bautista, and in that too, they had a different actor in there.
I can't with that.
I know.
I know. Just stop.
So they had.
I can't handle this Bautista nonsense.
It's like bao bun. Like you go to get a bao bun.
Yeah.
With stuff with
hence why
bows, please?
Coleslaw and like a bao bun, please. That's what I want.
That's why Vince McMahon is like, no, we can't have you be Bautista. We want you to be Bautista. You know? So that's what happened there.
Little syllable change.
That'll make you
You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable, Dave.
Yeah. So that's what happened to Dave. But I think the idea is, though, to replace, in Army of the Dead, that character was very separate. And even when Tig, they were like the helicopter pilot. So when they redid it with Tig was pretty much on her own the whole time. Like she's in the helicopter, outside the helicopter, on the phone. There was very few scenes.
Who was supposed to play that part?
That guy. I can't think of it. He was
the comedian guy who we saw at stand-up.
We saw him do stand-up. He was on that show.
He was on that Whitney show. Whitney.
Friends for Jake, Life or something like that, too.
Oh, yeah, he was on that show, too.
He was on that show.
Sitcom, Whitney. It was Whitney Cummings. He played her love interest. Oh, I can't remember his name. It's going to drive me nuts. I keep talking. I ruined that. Keep going.
Krista D'Elia. D'Elia.
Nailed it.
That guy.
About.
So this stuff happens, though. You know, but I don't know. I think that he like Ezra just has to go. They're at this crossing state.
He started a cult. He's kicking stools over in bars, and
throwing chairs.
People.
He punched a woman in the face.
He punched a woman at a store. Yeah, punched a woman in the face. That was the first one. And Warner Brothers has been brushing this under the rug constantly and being like, "Oh, this didn't happen." And it's like they had a chance. They had a chance to fire Ezra a long time ago before they even shot this movie. This movie,
really?
I'll tell you something fun fact about this movie. Do you know the Flash CW show?
No.
Well, they're about to start their 9th season, so they've shot 9 seasons, right? So 9 years ago when they first started, that was when this movie, The Flash, was supposed to come out. It was announced
9 years ago.
9 years ago, and it kept being changed and pushed because of Zack Snyder going in and out, because they weren't sure about Ezra, and they kept going back and forth. Finally, after COVID, they shot it, and now it's been pushed because of Ezra's problems. Only a headache for Warner Brothers.